Hello! So in this video, we are going to explore some creative writing techniques. We will be sharing about 6 different styles of poetry, and then encourage you to pick one of those styles and write your own poem about on the streets of where I live. And then I will be sharing with you the poem that I created at the very end using one of the styles that we talk about. So on the next slide is a list of 6 different styles that we will be talking about in this video. The first one is the haiku, then free verse, the sonnet, acrostic, ode, and the limerick. So I hope you learn a little bit about poetry and about what makes each one of these 6 styles unique to itself, and take the time to create your own poetry about the streets of where you live. The first style is the haiku. It's an ancient form of Japanese poetry. It's short in style, consisting of only 3 lines. You follow a 5-7-5 pattern of syllables. There's no rhyming in this type of poetry, and you write to evoke a particular mood or instance. An example of a haiku is one called Lighting One Candle by Yosa Busan. And it goes, the light of a candle is transferred to another candle, spring twilight. The next style is called free verse. It's the most popular modern style of poetry. There is a lot of freedom in its writing. It's the poet's choice if it rhymes or doesn't rhyme. You can have as many lines or stanzas, as they call them, as the poet would like. And it's a choice of topic to the poem that is endless. An example of free verse is a poem called I Carry Your Heart With Me by E. Cummings. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear, and whatever is done by only me is your doing. My darling, I fear no fate, for you are my fate. My sweet, I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of the sky, of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. The next style is called the sonnet. It's an old-fashioned form of poetry made famous by William Shakespeare, but originated in the 13th century by poet Petrarch. It is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means little song. It's made up of 14 lines. It's usually written about love, and each line has 10 syllables. The Italian sonnets follow an ABBA, ABBA, CDE, CDE rhythm scheme, and the English sonnets follow an ABAB, CDCD, EFEF, GG rhyming scheme. The example of a sonnet here is called Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day by William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou shalt more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou oust, nor shall death brag thou wondrous in his shade, when in internal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. The next style might be very familiar. It's called the acrostic. It's poetry that spells out a name, a word, a phrase, or message. The word or phrase being used is written vertically. Each line starts using each letter in the word. The poem can rhyme or it doesn't have to, and the word spelled out lays down the theme of the poem. An example of this type of poetry is one called Happiness by Pamela J. Langdon. H is for the humor you spread with your verse. A for your amusing tales also diverse. P is for pleasure you always delight. P for your passion to make the day bright. I for your incredible gift of the pen. N is for the naughtiness loose now and then. E is for the entertaining us all with your guile. S is your saucy and imprudent style, and S is your skill in making us smile. The next style is ode. It's one of the oldest forms of poetry, originated in Greece. Ode is derived from Greek word eidon, which means to sing or chant. It was originally played with a musical instrument. It is written to praise a person, event, or thing, and it typically is short in length. Ode to the West Wind by Percy Bysshe Shelley. O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven like ghosts from an encounter fleeing. Yellow and black and pale and hectic red, Brazilian-stricken multitudes, O thou, who chariotest to their dark wintry bed, the winged seeds where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse within its grave, until thine azure sister of the spring shall blow her clarion o'er the dreaming earth, and fill driving sweet buds like flocks to feed in air, with living hues and odors plain and heal, wild spirit which art moving everywhere, destroyer and preserver, hear, O hear. A limerick is funny and sometimes rude in nature. They have a set of rhyming scheme using the AABBA pattern. It consists of 5 lines. Lines 1, 2, and 5 are longer in length than lines 3 and 4. The longer lines have 7 to 10 syllables, and the shorter length lines have 5 to 7 syllables. The last line is often the punchline. The sound of limericks are very distinct. The Old Man by Edward Lear. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren, have all built their nest in my beard." I hope you enjoyed hearing some of these poems and the different styles that poetry can be. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I encourage you to write your own poem. And I want to give you a topic, if you need a little help, about on the streets of where I live. So I chose, for my example, a acrostic poem. So on the next slide, you'll read my poem, but this is what it says. N is for the new friends moving in next door. E is for the evening curfew when the sun goes down. I is for the interesting lawn decorations. G is the greeted hellos and waves by the evening walkers as they pass by your house. H is the holiday Easter egg hunts and Halloween hay rides. B is for the bike rides to your best friend's house to see if they can play. O is for the overnight sleepovers. R is the rooster crowing and other farm animal sounds and smells. H is the hunt for treasures at weekend yard sales. O for being old enough to cross the main road to walk to school all by yourself. O is for the orange blossoms to bloom and smell so sweet, just in time for picking and juicing season. And D is for delivering dinners and goodies in times of need. And so I use the word neighborhood. So I hope you take the time to create your own poem about where you grew up and what your neighborhood was like and what it was like on the streets that you grew up on. Mine was my childhood neighborhood and the things that I remember. So this is a great opportunity for you to reminisce and think about either your childhood neighborhood and community that you grew up in, or maybe the neighborhood that you raised your kids in. But I hope you enjoyed this video, learned a few things about different types of styles, and that you can take the time to create your own creative writing. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.